Welcome dear friends to my video lecture on Vedanta philosophy. Of course, we are taking topic by topic and then we are explaining it and then we are giving some questions. Of course, for college TRB you are supposed to write descriptive answers. Not only for that, even for writing in NET examinations, you must know what is the essence of the concept. Each concept you should be well versed in. Then only you will be able to answer the questions correctly. Because nowadays the way they are asking questions is so different. Unless you know all the facts about a particular concept, it's very difficult for you to answer the question. That is why you need to learn the descriptive part of each concept also. And what is the importance, what are the educational implications, everything in detail you must know. Then only you will be able to even attend net question. That is the situation now. So I request you to be to make you alert. I request you to be little more concerned about this and then learn correctly all the concepts. Let us straight away enter into the topic. Yeah. Vedanta philosophy. Vedanta is an ancient Indian philosophy based on the end portion of the Vedas, the oldest sacred text of Hinduism. Right. The word Vedanta means the end of knowledge or the culmination of the Vedas. Vedanta focuses on understanding the ultimate reality and the nature of the self. What are the important ideas of Vedanta philosophy? There is the concept, very important concept of Brahman. Brahman is the ultimate unchanging reality, often described as infinite consciousness or existence. Everything in the universe is an expression of Brahman. That is what Vedanta philosophy holds. Then there is another concept called Atman, the individual soul or self, which Vedanta teaches is identical with the Brahman, Tattvamasi. You know, God is here, you become God. That's something like that. So Tattvamasi. The soul identifies itself with the Brahman. Realizing this unity is the goal of spiritual practice. There is another important concept called Maya, the illusion or ignorance that prevents us from seeing the true nature of reality. It is the cause of suffering and confusion in life, Maya, darkness in life. Then there is another concept, karma, the law of cause and effect. Our actions influence our future experiences. Good actions will lead to positive outcomes, and bad actions will lead to negative outcomes. Then finally, moksha, liberation or freedom from the cycle of birth and rebirth, that is called samsara. It is achieved through self realization and understanding the oneness of Atman and Brahman, that is called moksha. Self realization, understanding the oneness of Atman and Brahman. Samsara, that is moksha. What are the educational implications of Vedanta philosophy? It gives a holistic education. Education should address the development of the whole person, intellectually, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. This aligns with the Vedanta's view of the interconnectedness of all aspects of life. Then self-knowledge, encouraging students to seek self-knowledge and self-awareness is crucial. Understanding one's true nature, Atman, is considered the highest form of learning. So we are leading students to that stage. That is what Vedanta implies. Then moral education, emphasizing ethical values and moral behavior. The law of karma teaches the importance of good actions and their positive impact on life. Then inclusive curriculum. It incorporates diverse subjects and perspectives to reflect the idea that all knowledge and experiences are connected and contribute to understanding the ultimate reality. So that way it becomes inclusive curriculum. I mean, including diverse subjects and perspectives perspectives to reflect the idea that all knowledge and experiences are interconnected and contribute to understanding the ultimate reality. Then meditation and mindfulness it promotes, Vedanta promotes in the students. Integrating practices like meditation and mindfulness in education to help students focus, reduce stress, and enhance their inner awareness and peace. By integrating these principles, education can aim not just at intellectual growth but also at fostering a deep sense of unity, purpose, and well being in students. Now, let us ask some questions. What is the primary text of Vedanta philosophy? The primary text of Vedanta philosophy, Bhagavad Gita, Vedas, Upanishads, Mahabharata, that is Upanishads. The Upanishads are a collection of texts that form the philosophical basis of Vedanta, exploring the nature of reality and the self. Which concept in Vedanta represents the ultimate reality? Brahman, Atman, Maya, or Karma. That is Brahman. Brahman is the infinite, unchanging reality amidst and beyond the world described in the Upanishads. In Vedanta, what is the term used for the individual self or soul? Brahman, Atman, Samsara, Moksha. So, what is the term used for the individual self or soul? That is Atman. Atman refers to the true self or soul that is identical with Brahman, the universal soul. What is the goal of life according to Vedanta philosophy? Artha, Dharma, Kama, Moksha. The goal of life according to Vedanta philosophy is moksha. Moksha is nothing but liberation from the cycle of birth and death, that is samsara, and the realization of oneness with the Brahman. Which term describes the illusory power that creates the material world in Vedanta? Maya, Karma, Dharma, Leela. That is Maya. So, Maya describes the illusory power, imaginative power or illusory power or dark power that creates the material world in Vedanta. Maya is the cosmic illusion that makes the finite world appear real. That is the idea here. It doesn't have any connection with Brahman. That is the state, that is the situation it creates, Maya creates. Who is the most renowned commentator on the Vedanta Sutras? Patanjali. I hope you understood the question. The most renowned commentator on the Vedanta Sutras. Patanjali, Shankara, Ramanuja, Madhava. Shankara, Adi Shankara is known for his comprehensive commentaries on the Vedanta Sutras and his role in consolidating the Advaita Vedanta school. I hope you understood. Adi Shankaracharya is known for his comprehensive explanations on the Vedanta Sutras and his role in consolidating the Advaita Vedanta school. Which school of Vedanta philosophy emphasizes non-dualism? Dvaita, Visishta Advaita, Advaita, Shuddha Advaita. That is Advaita. Which school of Vedanta philosophy emphasizes non-dualism? Only one. Brahman is the reality. That is, for an example, this Shankya philosophy have two realities. Now, Purusha and Prakriti. Whereas here, Brahman is essential in Vedanta philosophy. That means only one reality. That is called Advaita, Advaita Vedanta. Advocated by Shankara, teaches the non-duality of Atman and Brahman. That means Atman is Brahman, Brahman is Atman. There is no distinction. Final moksha is nothing but, not recognizing this difference, rather identifying oneself with the Brahman. That is called, moksha according to Advaita Vedanta. So only one reality. So Advaita Vedanta, advocated by Shankara, teaches the non-duality of Atman and Brahman. What is the term Jnana Yoga referred to in Vedanta? Path of devotion, path of meditation, path of knowledge, path of action. That is path of knowledge. Jnana Yoga is nothing but path of knowledge. Jnana Yoga is the practice of attaining knowledge of the self and the ultimate reality, leading to enlightenment. Who is the author of the Vedanta Sutras? Vyasa, Valmiki, Shankara, Patanjali. Who is the author of the Vedanta Sutras? He is Vyasa. The Vedanta Sutras, also known as Brahma Sutras, were composed by sage Vyasa. Which of the following texts is not traditionally associated with Vedanta? Brahma Sutras, Bhagavad Gita, Yoga Sutras, Upanishads. Which of the following texts is not traditionally associated with Vedanta? Yoga Sutras. The Yoga Sutras by Patanjali focus on the philosophy or practice of yoga, whereas the other texts are central to Vedanta. So that way, the question is, which of the following texts is not traditionally associated with Vedanta? Yoga Sutras. I hope you understood this. What does samsara mean in Vedanta philosophy? Liberation, illusion, rebirth cycle, cosmic law. That is a rebirth cycle, birth and rebirth. Samsara refers to the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth that the souls undergo due to ignorance and karma. I hope you understood this. So, samsara refers to the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth that souls undergo due to ignorance and karma. What is the role of karma in Vedanta philosophy? Creative force, illusory power, ethical actions and their consequences, meditation practice. What is the role of karma in Vedanta philosophy? So, karma, it talks about ethical actions and their consequences. Karma in Vedanta is the law of cause and effect, where one's actions determine future outcomes. So, that is karma. If you do good things, you will reach moksha. If you do bad things, you will go to, you will end up in samsara. There's a birth, rebirth, death, rebirth. That cycle you will enter. So that is the effect of evil actions. So the karma in Vedanta is the law of cause and effect, where one's actions determine future outcomes. Which Vedanta school teaches the concept of qualified non-dualism? Advaita, Dvaita, Visishtadvaita, Shuddhadvaita. Which Vedanta school teaches the concept of qualified non-dualism, that is Visishtadvaita. This has been propagated by Ramanuja, teaches that the soul and Brahman are distinct but inseparable, forming a qualified non-dualism. It's something different, no? This Adi Sankaracharya, he says Brahman and Atman are one and the same thing. Brahman is Atman, Atman is Brahman. That is generally non-dualism. Whereas Ramanuja talks about qualified non-dualism. That means he says the soul and Brahman are distinct but inseparable. I hope you understood this. Actually, they are distinct. They are not one and the same thing, but inseparable. They cannot be separated from each other. That is qualified non-dualism. In Vedanta, what is the practice of bhakti yoga? In Vedanta, what is the practice of bhakti yoga? Path of knowledge, path of action, path of devotion, path of meditation. That is path of devotion. Bhakti yoga is the path of loving devotion to a personal God, leading to union with the divine. That is practice of bhakti yoga. So it is the path of loving devotion to a personal God, leading to union with the divine. Which concept refers to the ultimate liberation and union with the Brahman? Which concept refers to the ultimate liberation and union with Brahman? That is moksha. Dharma, moksha, artha, kama, that is moksha. Moksha is the state of liberation from the cycle of samsara and the realization of one's unity with Brahman. Who wrote the commentary on the Bhagavad Gita from the perspective of Advaita Vedanta? Ramanuja, Shankara, Madhva, Nimbarka. That is Shankara. Shankara's commentary on the Bhagavad Gita is a key text in Advaita Vedanta, interpreting the Gita's teaching from a non-dualistic perspective. That is, Brahman is the reality. Atman becomes Brahman, yes, but they are, the Atman should get identified with the Brahman. So that is non-dualism, Advaita Vedanta. Sankar's commentary on the Bhagavad Gita is a key text in Advaita Vedanta, interpreting the Gita's teaching from a non-dualistic perspective. Brahman is real. Brahman is all-powerful. Brahman is infinite. No, that is the idea. What is the term avidya used to describe in Vedanta? True knowledge, devotion, ignorance, karma. That is ignorance. Avidya refers to ignorance or misunderstanding, especially the ignorance of the true nature of the self and the Brahman. Right? What is the term avidya used to be described in Vedanta? Avidya refers to ignorance or misunderstanding, especially the ignorance of the true nature of the self and Brahman. Which school of Vedanta is associated with the philosophy of dualism? Advaita, Visishtadvaita, Dvaita, Suddhadvaita. Which school of Vedanta is associated with the philosophy of dualism? That means two different realities. You know, Brahman is the only reality we talk about in Vedanta philosophy. But there is a school of Vedanta which talks about, philosophy of dualism. Two different realities like Advaita, Visishtadvaita, Dvaita, Suddhadvaita. Dvaita. That is, Dvaita means what? Dvaita, founded by Mahatma, was a dualistic interpretation of the relationship between the individual soul and God. Of course, individual soul and God, Brahman and Atman are different, but still they are interconnected. Inseparable. No, that is the idea here. So, Dvaita, founded by Mahatma, posits a dualistic interpretation of the relationship between the individual soul and God. In Vedanta, what is the term for the eternal unchanging soul? In Vedanta, what is the term for the eternal unchanging soul? Brahman, Prakriti, Atman, Ishvara. So, eternal unchanging soul is Atman. Right? Atman is the eternal unchanging self that is ultimately identical with the Brahman. I hope you understood this. Eternal unchanging soul, Atman. Which practice involves the contemplation of sacred texts in Vedanta? Which practice involves the contemplation of sacred texts in Vedanta? Dhyana, Swadhyaya, Pranayama, Asana. Swadhyaya. Swadhyaya means it is the practice of self-study and contemplation of sacred texts, an important aspect of Jnana Yoga in Vedanta. I hope you understood this. Swadhyaya is the practice of self-study, an important aspect of Jnana Yoga in Vedanta. Thank you very much, dear friends. God bless you abundantly. Kindly go through each and everything. Anything will be asked. This is the situation now. You cannot expect, certain questions and leave out other things. No. Anything can be asked. That is the situation now. And as days go by, they make it more and more complicated, more and more difficult, complex. Of course, you know the reason. Lakhs and lakhs are writing the examinations. They need to select only a few. That means the elimination process. They will ask the most difficult questions and eliminate you. Why do you get into that trouble? Now, please read everything and anything. Not only mine, anything that you come across with regard to NET or PGTRB or college TRB, simply read. Watch the videos. Not only mine, any video for that matter related to PGTRB or college TRB, kindly watch at least once. Get to know some new ideas, because anything can be asked. The idea is that you cannot expect certain things and then go to the exam hall. That is the situation now. So that is why I make you alert. So God bless you abundantly. Let us meet in other video lectures. Next video will be on Buddhism. Thank you very much.